Many organizations can function adequately with a single ADDS domain. However, some organizations have requirements that necessitate the deployment of multiple domains. These requirements can include domain replication requirements. In some cases, organizations have several large offices that are connected by slow or unreliable wide area networks, WANs. The network connections might not have enough bandwidth to support ADDS replication of the domain partition. In such cases, installing a separate ADDS domain in each office might be better. DNS namespace requirements. Some organizations require more than one DNS namespace in an ADDS forest. Typically, this is the case when one company acquires another company or merges with another organization, and preserving the domain names from the existing environment is necessary. It is possible to provide multiple user principal names, UPNs, for users in a single domain, but many organizations choose to deploy multiple domains in this scenario. Distributed administration requirements. Organizations might have corporate security or political requirements to employ a distributed administration model. Organizations can achieve administrative autonomy by deploying a separate domain. With this deployment, domain administrators have complete control over their domains. Note, deploying separate domains provides administrative autonomy, but not administrative isolation. The only way to ensure administrative isolation is to deploy a separate forest. Forest administrative group security requirements. Some organizations might choose to deploy a dedicated or empty root domain. This is a domain that does not have any user accounts other than the default forest root domain accounts. The ADDS forest root domain has two groups, the schema admins group and the enterprise admins group, that do not exist in any other domain in the ADDS forest. Because these groups have far-reaching rights in an ADDS forest, you might decide to restrict the use of these groups by using only the ADDS forest root domain to store them. The resource domain requirements. Some organizations deploy resource domains to deploy specific applications. With this deployment, all user accounts are in one domain, whereas application servers and application administration accounts are deployed in a separate domain. This enables application administrators to have complete domain administrative permissions in the resource domain without enabling any permissions in the domain that contains the regular user accounts. Note, as a best practice, choose the simplest design that achieves the required goal. It is less costly to implement and more straightforward to administer.